Deep in the Hurtgen Forest, Germany, a forest that keeps secrets better than any vault ever built. For 80 years, the trees have grown around it. The moss has covered it. The roots have claimed it. And nobody came. Until now. The structure emerges from the undergrowth, the way all forgotten things do, slowly, reluctantly. A geometry too precise to be natural. Concrete walls 2 meters thick. A blast door sealed with bolts the size of a man's fist. A German military eagle still visible beneath the rust. Whatever is inside. Someone went to enormous lengths to make sure it stayed there. The bolts have not moved since 1945. They are about to. The cutting takes hours, each bolt surrendering only after a fight. The forest watches in silence as 80 years of sealing is undone one bolt at a time. And then, the door. 3 men. Maximum effort. The forest holding its breath. The door gives, not smoothly, not willingly, with the deep, resonant groan of something that was never meant to open again. And from inside, the exhale of 80 years of trapped air. Cold, dark, ancient. The torches go in first, then the team. Their footsteps on the concrete floor sound different to outside. Harder, more hollow, like the bunker is listening to them. The torch beams find the walls. German military markings still stenciled in place. Empty ammunition brackets, collapsed wooden crates, and then, at the edge of the torchlight, something enormous. Something that stops 4 grown men dead in their tracks. The beams converge, the darkness surrenders, and there she is. Exactly where she was left in the spring of 1945. A Tiger 1 heavy tank, serial number 331, coated in 80 years of dust so thick she appears almost white in the torchlight. Cobwebs across the gun mantlet, the 88mm barrel pointing at the entrance as if still on guard. The tracks have not moved since the last time a crew climbed out and sealed the door behind them. Nobody speaks. The first hand to touch her leaves a perfect print in the dust. Beneath 80 years of gray, the original Dunkelgelb dark yellow paint, still there, waiting. The commander's hatch has not been opened since 1945. It takes 2 men and everything they have. When it finally cracks, the sound is the sound of a seal breaking on a tomb. Inside, frozen in absolute stillness. The driver's instruments exactly as the last driver left them. The steering levers in their last position. The throttle pedal, slightly depressed, as if a foot lifted from it moments ago. And in the gunner's position, a leather notebook, a tactical symbol on the cover, a name in faded ink, and on the turret floor, face down, a small photograph, a young man, no older than 20. Standing with a woman and a small child in front of a house on a summer day. Nobody picks it up immediately. Some moments require silence before they require action. The extraction takes a full day. The bunker walls come down first. 80-year-old reinforced concrete surrendering to pneumatic breakers. The forest shaking with each impact. Then the recovery vehicles, too large for the forest track. They come anyway. The cables attached to the front hull towing eyes. The ARV takes the strain. And, slowly, reluctantly, after 80 years of absolute stillness, the Tiger begins to move. The tracks scrape on the concrete floor. The bunker entrance scrapes the hull sides. And then she is outside. Gray winter daylight, falling snow, a forest that kept her secret for 8 decades. The team stands in silence around her. One man removes his helmet and holds it to his chest. Nobody cheers. This is not a moment for cheering.
It's finally here. Lower hull Hull damage is extensive. Rivets are loose here. Photographing the turret ring. The welds are cracked. Tapping the side armor. It's holding up well.
The restoration takes 14 months. 14 months of work that would have impressed the engineers who built her in the Henschel factory in Kassel in 1943. The Maybach HL 230 V12 engine, 700 horsepower, 12 cylinders, completely disassembled. 847 individual components, each one cleaned, measured, assessed, each one either restored or replaced. The hull stripped to bare steel, stress fractures welded, the skeleton made whole again before the skin goes back on.
Track is on and tensioned correctly. Aligning journals, steady. Settling, perfect alignment. Cap position, clean. Into the lights, copy. Sliding the radio in now. Lights are connected.
The driver's position, rebuilt exactly as it was. The steering levers, the instruments, the throttle pedal, now at its correct neutral rest position. The Fu-5 radio set restored and returned to its rack. The Wehrmacht headset, draped over it, exactly as period correct. The 88mm gun breech rebuilt to the precision its engineers intended. When it closes for the first time after restoration, the sound is not the sound of a repaired mechanism. It is the sound of an original. The gunner's sight, new optics, perfect clarity. Seeing the world again after 80 years of darkness. And the notebook and the photograph, cleaned, conserved, returned to their place inside the machine, because they belong there. The turret goes back on with a clunk that is felt through the entire hull. The three-color camouflage follows. Dunkelgelb, olive grün, rot brown, applied exactly as the Henschel painters applied it in 1943. When the team stands before the completed tank in the empty workshop, nobody moves for a long time. The team lead walks forward alone, places both hands flat against the front armor plate, and stays there, both hands on the steel, head slightly bowed. 14 months of work behind those two hands. The tank emerges into gray winter daylight, fully restored. Snow on the ground, bare trees, cold still air, and then 2 seconds of complete silence. The starter engages. The Maybach coughs once, twice, then the forest shakes. 700 horsepower finding their voice after 80 years of silence. The exhaust stacks cracking and barking in the cold winter air. The snow on the ground shuddering from the vibration. The team reacts the way people react when something they gave everything to believe in actually happens. The commander stands in the open cupola, looking forward into the winter forest. The engine settles into its idle, deep, powerful, unhurried. The Maybach at idle in a German winter is not just an engine sound. It is 1944. It is the Henschel factory floor. It is a young crew hearing their machine run for the first time. It is a sealed door in a forest that held a secret for 80 years. It is a young man's photograph, returned to the machine he never came back for. We found her, we brought her back, and somewhere, in whatever exists beyond a German forest in winter. A crew of 5 young men who sealed a door in the spring of 1945 and never returned can finally hear their engine running again. This was Tiger 331. She is home. If this moved you, subscribe. There are more machines out there. Forgotten, sealed, waiting. We are going to find them.